Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel, Live Snapshot. Evelyn, Greg and Muttley here from Australia. Appreciate everybody dropping by. 2nd of July, about, what's going on, 8 o'clock tonight. Getting a little bit colder, probably about 9 or 10 degrees at the moment. So we've actually had a mild winter here, rural, about 250 k's south of Sydney. It's usually getting pretty cold by now, so I think we're going to have a late cold burst, I reckon. Probably late part of July or something like that, that it's going to actually get kind of cold. But during the day, it's gorgeous. There's been no wind or anything like that, which is great. I hate the wind. But anyway, I thought I would get into something that I did quite a while ago, and that's about the cost of living and actual grocery prices. Now, I'm going to put some examples up on the screen, and I've basically done it from December 2025 to about 3 days ago, June 2026. And I've compared a couple of things. Now, for most people, they want a certain milk, they want a certain bread, and I am no exception to that. I love my certain things. But I also, when I look at something like, for instance, I'll give an example, cordial. I'm not a soft drinker anymore. I like the cordial, and it's cheap. And I used to love the Cotties. So I did nothing but Cotties. But then I looked at the other one, Golden Circle brand, and I was like, God, you get 2 litres for the price of what Cotties is. Yes, Cotties is much tastier, in my opinion. But now that I've gone and been using the Golden Circle, well, I'm getting basically a litre for the same price that I would with Cotties, 1 litre to 2 litre. So, you know, I have made adjustments where I think that I'm paying too much for something. Margarine's another one. Milk, I do like my certain types of milk. Some milks I just find just weird tasting, so I stick to that type of milk. I'm going to give some examples of some across-the-board stuff. Now, you're going to have to trust me, but I couldn't get the dates. Why would I lie? But I'll take you along as we go. What the dates were. So I'll have it up on the screen. So things like paracetamol, headache tablets, chicken thighs by the kilo, chocolate milk. I love my chocolate milk. Your normal milk, of course, eggs, carrots, and some nice treats like custard tarts and muffins. So just sort of roughly across a couple of things that most people would probably have. Now, we only go to pretty much the one place. We're kind of lucky down here in the sense that it's about 15 kilometres to the main town, and Coles and Woolworths, the main suppliers, and Aldi are virtually across the road from each other. They're in the same street, they're across the road from each other. You can just park wherever you at the front. We've got a pretty good deal here. We don't have many people. It's only a small town. But also, during these winter months, Coles is the one that we mainly deal with. They bring their delivery prices right down. So as long as you can have a delivery window between 7 and say 1 o'clock, so 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., like that really huge window, they'll, do a delivery for $2. Now, for me to start the truck and drive it into the town where we've got to go shopping, that's probably going to cost me double that. It's probably going to cost me $4, $5 in fuel. So, you know what I mean? But when it comes to peak periods, the end of the year when all the tourists come down, summertime, kids are on holidays, that's very difficult to get that. You'll be lucky to get $4 delivery. But again, it's still, you got to drive in, you got to park, you got to get out, you got to trolley bash it. It's like, for me, $4, $5, I'm not complaining. So this time of year, we get it for around $2 delivery. And for me, that's a bargain. So that's something to think about as well. So we'll get into a few things. Paracetamol, headache tablets. Now, of course, you're going to always need them sitting in the pantry just in case you get a headache. They're always good to have. We found that the paracetamol has actually stayed the same price. And you'll see that on the screen. So from December till now, stayed the same price. Okay, you'll see one example there. It says $5. We actually bought 2 packs. So that stayed pretty much the same price. Chicken thighs. Now, chicken thighs, Evelyn's a wonderful cook and she can really make it stretch out. 1 to 1.2 kilos we usually buy. Again, stayed the same price from December till now, 2025 December till now. It has stayed the same price. Around 1.2 kilos, I think it is, $17. So, hey, okay, that's pretty good in our books. We're kind of happy. We're going to probably see some. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some rise in prices now that it's July, end of financial year. Don't be surprised if it happens. So anyway, carrots, unbelievably have gone up. Okay, since December and now, $1.90 to $2.50 for about a kilo. So I'm guessing veggie, because of all this thing with the fuel and running costs of where we get this stuff from, the farmers and everything. Mate, what can they do? They can't dodge these running costs and diesel costs and stuff like that. They got to put their prices up. So I reckon everybody's kind of guessing roughly every 6 months that these types of things, carrots, veggies, fruits, will go up. Okay, $1.90 to $2.50. It's not going to break the bank, but hey, it's still something you're paying extra for. Eggs, surprisingly, gone down 10 cents. Whoop-de-doo, right? Well, it's still something that for the last 6 months you haven't been paying extra for, or at least we haven't, okay? Again, I go back to, you might not like the eggs I buy. I just buy the cheapest ones there. I do not worry about being free range or anything like that. I just look at the price and go, yep, that'll do. An egg's an egg to me. So, hey, milk, of course, again, you're dealing with the farmers. They've got costs. Their costs have risen. It's pretty bloody obvious. From December till January, milk's gone up. We always buy the 3 litre, always buy the same brand. I think $4.65 for the 3 litre in December. It's $5.15 now. Just pretty obvious that that's always going to be one thing in the grocery store that goes up. Muffins, I love me muffin every now and then. Evelyn does too. We buy the same muffins all the time. They're still a bargain at $4.50. They haven't gone up in the last 6 to 7 months. So, hey, now cordial, soft drinks I just think are garbage, okay? I might have the occasional soft drink when we're out and about and it's a hot day, and I'll go and buy a can of Coke at a shop, okay? That's about it. And I'm flat out finishing the can, okay? Me and Evelyn will share that can. So I've got into me cordials, so less sugar, a little bit better for you. They do have a fruit mix, 60% or something actual fruit in the cordial. I loved me Cotties, but Cotties is 1 litre and it tastes great. It's the best tasting stuff, but it's the same price as the Golden Circle, and Golden Circle's 2 litre. And also it does have fruit added in. So I didn't really like the Golden Circle compared to the Cotties, but I've weaned off that and gone on to the Golden Circle. And it's funny because in December it was $5.50 for $2, 2 litres. In May it was $4.40, and then in June it was back up to $5.50. Now that's another thing you got to remember. Sometimes we rock up. See, I like going shopping late at night. I don't like trolley bashing. I don't like everybody running around and kids screaming, and I just like to cruise around if I'm going to the shopping centre. And I also go in just to see if there is any specials. So we go in, our Coles and Woolworths here is open until 10 o'clock. We'll go in at 8:30, 9 o'clock and just cruise around. There's nobody there. It's really, really an enjoyment, really, for me. The problem is all the bread's sold, all the eggs are gone. Do you know what I mean? For the day, that's kind of, if you time it right, they start putting the new stuff out, but that's usually about 9:30. And I don't want to keep people hanging around till then. I try to get out of there about 9 o'clock, gone, so they start to shut shop, especially in our area, rural area. So there's a couple of things that you got to look at, whether you get it delivered, who you shop with, what time you shop, all those sort of things. And of course, what type of brands. My brands could be different to your brands. Leave comments down below how you do it, right? How you think is the best way to do it. Is there a better time to go there? Maybe it is a good time to go when everyone else is there, that you get the specials. I don't know, because I rarely go there during the day. So, so I think that's about it. Yeah, so there's a few examples of what has happened in the last 7 months. And of course, I think we should all prepare for things that at this second half of this year are going to rise again. So maybe you need to look at changing the product, trying something different that's a little bit cheaper. I know I didn't want to give in to that. I really didn't. I hate that. I hate that feeling. I just like to go and buy what I want to buy. But it's been a quiet couple of months here. Evelyn hasn't had any work. Her work is very seasonal. So we've been biting a little bit into our saving. Not much, but enough for me to tweak my interest. And we've got most of our money locked away into a term deposit at the moment. And I find that my other ways of making income, like eBay and stuff like that, has really dried up. I don't think many people out there just throwing money on eBay and just wanting to buy collectibles and coins and stuff like that I buy. So these months are tight. They're just. I'm in no position that I need to worry, but just keeping one eye on the old bank account until comes about October, November. Then Evelyn starts working again. She starts pulling in great money. And so food for thought. Hope everybody's having a great winter. Stay warm. And hopefully this new financial year, things don't get crazy when it comes to our groceries and bills and stuff like that going up. Let's hope. Thanks very much for watching. All the best. Have a great night and look out for the next one. See you.